Hey guys, I hope you guys are doing good. I'm not doing bad. I'm good. Uh, I would like to make a video in which I share my experience from the time I was in university up to where I am now. I finished university last year. So to begin with, I understand that the greatest challenge any university student faces after their graduation is where to get a job. That actually comes even before graduation. In that space between finishing your final exams and graduation. As for my story of it, I was lucky during my I was a person who didn't like being at home. Even when I was at university, during the semester breaks, I would make sure I don't go home. I would find an excuse to not go back home. And usually the excuses used to be, I would either tell my dad that we are having some like internship or some volunteer work we have to do. Even during first semester breaks, internship comes in after the second semester if you're doing like, anyway, I think in Uganda all internships come after the second semester. But even in the first semester break, I used to create an excuse not to go back home because I don't know why, but for some reason I just hated being home when I started university. So it so happened that on the semester break of the first semester of the third year, towards that semester break, I figured I'm going to be so bored because I don't plan on going back home, but still there is not much for me to do in Banda. I was in Banda at the time. That's some I would call it a ghetto that is close to Chambogo University, where I was doing my mechanical engineering course. So that's around 2023. Yeah. So having realized that I'm going to be bored in the semester break, what I did, I decided to find some workshops around that I could ask to volunteer at. And I don't remember what exactly I told my dad, but I think I probably told him that either I lied to him that we have some small internship we have to do during this semester break. So I got an internship. I'm going to find an internship place around this side, and then I will stay at the place I was renting in Banda while I attend that internship. Or else, I probably told him the truth. I probably told him that I'm going to find a place and volunteer. And then, actually, I don't think I told him I'm going to find a place and volunteer, because I remember I just gave him the news of having found that place as a surprise. It was new to him. Anyway, what I did is, having figured I'm going to be bored, I looked around workshops. Luckily enough, there is some workshop that I got in Chireka, and this is a workshop of some guy who is in the business of doing site works. That is, you see, when you see steel doors, steel windows, aluminium doors, aluminium windows, office partitions, gypsum works, if you know gypsum, such stuff. So I volunteered at that workshop. And when I talked to the guy, okay, what happened is I walked around. I found a certain place which had been mentioned to me by a classmate. Like we had finished the, remember I was in year 3. We had finished the year 2 internship, and during that year 2 internship I had done the internship in Masindi. So when we came back for the first semester of the 3rd year, after that first semester of the 3rd year, one of my classmates told me that they had done their internship of the 2nd year at a certain workshop in around Chireka. Chireka is a place that is near Banda. So when I wanted a place that I would go to for my volunteership, I tried that place. When I went there, the guy, the owner of the business, accepted me. And yeah, he told me, when I went him like a week before we started the break, he told me, it's okay, you can come and do your volunteership. The semester break was going to be like 3 weeks, was it? Yeah, 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. He told me you can come and do your volunteer. It's okay, you can come and volunteer, as long as you bring me a copy of your national ID, definitely for security reasons, for security of his property, just in case I'm a thug, you know. And yeah, I was glad that I had got that. So when the guy accepted me, I called my dad and I was like, I won't be coming home for the semester break. I got a certain place at which I'm going to volunteer. It's a workshop that does this and this. And my dad was very happy. He was like, okay, that's cool. I will send you some money that will take you through that semester break volunteership, because definitely when you're volunteering, they don't do what? They don't pay you. Luckily enough, I was being given lunch at this place. So it seems like the guy liked me from our first interactions. I don't know, because when I started, like later in the story, this guy took me up after my volunteership program was done. As I was starting semester 2 of year 3, the guy told me I can keep working there part-time and he would be paying me some small amount per week. So when I started working there, after he took me up, there are some other people who came and asked to volunteer and he accepted them. But when those people came, he was not providing them lunch. Yet during my volunteership time, from the first day of the volunteering, he started offering me lunch. Anyway, maybe by the time these guys came, first of all, it was not like one guy who came. There were about 2 to 3 guys who came. So I think he figured it's going to be a big expense as compared to my time when I came, when I was just one guy. So yeah. So the first thing that you can have as a takeaway from my story is that if possible, it's good that you take up volunteership programs. You look around for volunteership programs in the semester breaks that are not taken up by internships. Yeah, it's self-explanatory, I think. Like, as you take up these volunteering programs, you get to show your ability to work to these people who have businesses, and maybe if they like you, then they can take you up. And if they take you up, you do not have to like look for a job after your final exams, which was the case for me. Like after this guy took me up, I was working for him part-time. So I was doing evening sessions. My classes were in the evening. So I used to go to report at work at 8 a.m. and then I would leave at 3 p.m. Then at 3, my classes used to start at 4. So I had an hour of commute from my workplace to my place where I would like clean myself up, then get to class by 4. Then our classes used to run from like 4, sometimes to 6, sometimes to 7, sometimes to 8, but usually up to like 7. Then I go back to I was renting some room in Banda. So yeah, that happened for year 3, semester 2, year 4, both semester 1 and 2. Then after year 4, semester 2, you know, when you're in year 3, semester 2, after year 3, semester 2, you're supposed to do an internship. So I continued doing, like, this place that I was working with became my internship place, because the work they were doing there could account for, it could fit as engineering work, and I was doing an engineering course, so it could count as an internship place. So yeah, just that when that internship time came for year 3, semester 2, this boss was like, you guys are going to start working Saturday. And the reason why he was saying you guys is because we had become 2 guys. And the way that happened, after I was taken up, after my volunteering program of like 3 to 4 weeks, and he took me up as a part-time worker. In that time when I was a part-time worker, he asked me, could you get me another guy from your class who can also come and work for me as a part-time worker? And I was like, yeah, I can. So I got one of my friends. He joined me at the place. So by the time we went for internship of year 3, semester 2, we were 2 guys. So we were working Monday to Friday, but during internship time, this guy was like, I know you guys are going to be running an internship while you're here in this semester break, but for me to still pay you under that internship time, you're going to need to work on Saturday as well, which was understandable. We started working on Saturday. So after year 4, semester 2, both of us, me and that guy, we didn't have to look for jobs. Yeah, we didn't have to look for jobs because we already had this place, and the way I got that place is because I chose to volunteer. That's why I'm recommending doing volunteership programs. Like, reach out to companies and tell them you can volunteer. When they accept you, explain to your parents that you're going to be doing volunteership at this company. They're not going to pay you, so if your parents can afford, they can like send you some money for your meals and your like rent. If you get, it's worth it, I think, because it was worth it for me. It helped a lot, by the way. It did help a lot, because after those final exams, like, most guys were like, now what do we do? Where do we start? Like, guys were now looking for places to volunteer at after final exams. So yeah, so anyway, after my final exams, I continued working at this place. I got, I kept on applying in between that time of final exams and graduation. Like, I kept on applying now to bigger companies, because, as I said, this was just a workshop. I kept applying to bigger companies. Man, you get called for interviews. You reach there, you're like, for like interviews of like these government agencies, You reach there and you're like 1,000 guys, like 600 guys, and they just want like 5 guys. You're like, man. For these other private companies, you reach there, you're like 10 guys. They want 1, 2, or 3 guys. Anyway, those first interviews are fun because some of the people that have come for the interviews are your former classmates, like the guys you finished exams with, the guys you are studying with. So you meet there. It's been like 2 months without seeing each other. You have some jazz. You do the interview. But anyway, most of those interviews I didn't go through, like for most of them. Until now, I finally got this one, this graduate training program that I'm currently running, that I'm currently on anyway. And also now there is also a takeaway there. The way I got this job that I'm currently at, okay, I did the interview and I think I passed the interview, but I also think there was some connection, a bit of connection. Now, to explain why I'm not so sure if there was a connection or not. While I was doing internship, you remember I told you guys about an internship I did in Masindi during the year 2 semester 2 second semester break. I happened to befriend one of the engineers at that company, and now after our final exams of year 4, I like reached out to the different people that I knew that could be in companies that could be hiring. And remember I had befriended this guy when I was still in year 2. So I just reached out to him. I think I reached out to him in January of this year. I reached out to him and I was like, yes sir, if you happen to like get an opportunity anywhere, you can let me know. I am up for employment. And this guy was like, it's okay. When I hear of anything, I'm going to let you know. And about a week or 2 after that, he like told me at this company, which is the company I did internship at, which is the company I got to meet him at. He was like, they are running a graduate trainee. They are hiring they want to hire graduate trainees. So if you could send me your CV, I could like help you put it in and maybe they will call you for interviews. And so I sent him the CV. Then I think after a period of like, I sent him the CV on like a Tuesday. Then on like a Thursday, was it? I was called, no, like a Saturday, I was called for interviews, and I was told those interviews are going to be there the next Thursday of the next week. So I traveled I was in Kampala at the time. I was working at this place I told you about in Chireka. I traveled to Masindi. If you don't know Masindi, it's some good distance from Kampala. I traveled to Masindi. I did the interviews. Now, while I was at the interviews, first of all, they wanted 3 guys. Anyway, we thought they wanted 1 guy, but they recruited 3 of us. But at the interview, we were 8 guys. When I got in for the interview, what these guys first asked me was, do you have a relative in this company? And this company policy, I don't think it favors people because they have relatives in the company. I think having a relative in the company could like decrease your chances of being taken up. I'm not so sure. But they asked me that, do you have relatives in the company? I was like, no, I don't. Then they were like, okay, one of them told the other guys, there were 3 guys on the panel, one of them told the other 2. But his CV came direct to my desk. It was not submitted through the normal like procedures. So I like put in an explanation on that. When he told that to his fellow panelists, I was like, no, I sent my CV to one of your employees, engineer so and so, who is not my relative, but who I happened to meet when I was doing an internship here. So they were like, oh, you also did an internship here. So they checked now the CV, they looked on the CV and they were like, oh, you did an internship here? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, that's how I came to meet this guy who I sent my CV, who I think delivered it to your desk. Then they were like, okay. Now, after that, the questions that they asked me, okay, they still asked me almost the same questions as they asked the other guys, but I wouldn't say they were hard on me. So maybe, anyway, I think it's obvious. It helped. Like, that connection helped. And that's how I managed to get this graduate trainee program, which I am so glad I got actually. Which I'm so glad I did get. So yeah, the second takeaway is that, man, when you go for internships during your university course, you make friends, especially there are some employees at companies who happen to be friends with HR, who happen to be friends with like the management, even whether they are part of the management or not. So when you go for internships and you spot such characters, just find out befriending them, because such people usually talk to the HR people frequently. So when there is a certain opening, they get to know. So if you're friends with them, they can like give you information. You get? Yeah. Because this engineer that that connected me to this, he's a guy who is almost friendly to everyone in the company. And this is a company that is like, I think this company has like over 2,000 employees. This is like it's a production company, so there are very many employees, very, very many departments. But this is a guy who is like friendly to the management, to the HR. So yeah, it helped, man. It was a blessing. So yeah, that's how I managed to. That's how I managed to get this job that I'm currently having. And yeah, so far I am liking how it's going. As you know, work, man, it can't be all good. It can be all good, but as time goes on, some things start coming up and you handle them as they come. Yeah. So yeah, man, that's anyway, the reason as to why I made this video, mainly I just wanted to talk to someone who is at university right now, who maybe is wondering, who maybe is scared based on the current levels of unemployment in the country. Maybe they are scared that they could finish doing their course and they fail to get a job, and they feel like they are about to waste the 3 to 4 years that they are going to spend at university. I just wanted to communicate, man. It's not like, there are ways that you could increase your chances of not wasting that time at university. There are ways of increasing your chances of not having to look for a job after your final exams, like of being employed even before you finish your final exams, or managing to get employment like weeks or just a few months after finishing your final exams, even before you graduate, or immediately after graduation. yeah, that's it, man. That's just it. I hope this camera was recording. I hope I don't finish and check and find that it wasn't recording all along, because I'm not ready to redo this video. Anyway, if it was recording, bye guys.